Kenya is on fire as protests sweep across the nation and the government faces massive criticism over the recent deaths of protesters. The streets are full of young men and women demanding justice and accountability. The nation is watching closely as President William Ruto and his administration struggle to contain the anger of the people. Citizens are angry and frustrated with the rising cases of police brutality and the lack of action against those responsible. The death of protesters has sparked outrage and calls for immediate reforms across Kenya. Every corner of Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, and other major cities is witnessing demonstrations with thousands joining the movement demanding transparency and justice. Many are sharing videos and photos of the protests on social media, making it impossible for the world to ignore the situation. This wave of protests has put immense pressure on the government to respond to the demands of its citizens and address the underlying issues of injustice, corruption, and abuse of power. Analysts are warning that failure to act decisively could lead to further unrest and political instability. The government has issued statements claiming it is committed to peace and security, but the people are demanding more than words. They want concrete actions and accountability for the loss of lives. Innocent civilians have been caught in the crossfire, with many families mourning the sudden loss of loved ones. Human rights organizations have raised concerns over the excessive use of force and the lack of proper investigation into the deaths. International media is covering the events closely, and the eyes of the world are on Kenya as the situation unfolds. The protesters have been vocal and organized, using social media to mobilize support and spread awareness. The hashtag campaigns and online movements have made it clear that the youth will not remain silent until justice is served. Experts say that this is a turning point in Kenya politics, as the citizens are showing that they will hold leaders accountable for their actions and decisions. The crackdown by the authorities has drawn criticism from various sectors, including opposition leaders, activists, and ordinary citizens who are demanding reforms. The tension in the country is palpable, and every day new developments emerge as protests continue to grow in size and intensity. The challenge of calming the nation while addressing the core issues that have led to this unprecedented wave of civil unrest. The calls for transparency and justice are louder than ever, and the government must find a way to balance law enforcement with the rights of its citizens. The coming weeks will be critical as both the administration and the protesters continue to engage in a tense standoff. The outcomes of these protests could shape the future of Kenya politics and influence how leaders respond to civil unrest in the years to come. Citizens are watching closely, and many are documenting every moment to ensure that the events are recorded and shared widely. The movement has united people from different backgrounds, regions, and social classes, all demanding the same thing: accountability and justice. The international community is also taking notice, with statements urging the government to respect human rights and address the grievances of the people. The situation remains fluid and fast-moving, with new incidents being reported daily. Citizens are determined and motivated by a sense of injustice and a desire to see their country governed fairly and equitably. The government response will be critical in determining whether the unrest escalates or whether a peaceful resolution can be found. The people of Kenya have made it clear that they will not be silenced, and their voices will continue to echo through the streets and online platforms until justice is served. This is a historic moment in Kenya as the population demands change, transparency, and a government that is accountable for its actions. Every Kenyan has a role to play in shaping the future of the nation, and the world is watching closely as these events unfold. Share this video and raise awareness about the situation in Kenya, so that the message of justice, accountability, and peace reaches every corner of the globe. Stay updated, subscribe to this channel, and join the conversation about Kenya politics and the fight for justice.